This is a blinded example of a real client from last year. And so you'll see that, we started working together in July, and I'll show you a little bit more in a minute as to what happened with her revenue and what it is that we were able to accomplish during our time together. But you can see in the first part of the year when we were not working together, her revenue was almost skimming, 45 and then 33 K per quarter. And in the third quarter, the first quarter that we were working together, she was able to get that up higher than she's ever seen, to almost 75K, and just continue to increase, not by working more, but by working smarter, because she was able to really identify higher ticket clients and work with people on a longer term basis. We can see that a little bit more when we dive into this monthly view. In the first month when we started working together, she had yet to send all of her data over our way, but she was super excited because she was making, from January to June, because we started working together in July. She was super excited because she was making, anywhere from 8 to 17K in revenue. And she's like, I've never made this much money in my life. This is so exciting. Once we got her revenue, it was telling me a different story. And yes, making that amount of money, especially as a solopreneur on a monthly basis, is absolutely incredible. That said, she actually wasn't making any money because she was spending far more than she was actually making. And so that's one thing that I really do to shift the mindset of my clients to, rather than growing from a revenue perspective, let's focus on growing from a profit and profitability standpoint, to allow you to grow from a place that is not necessarily going to make you work harder and more hours, but it's going to allow you to have that freedom and flexibility that you wanted as a freelancer or, working for yourself. And you're able to really achieve those goals, by putting, all of your energy into just making sure that your work is far more sustainable for your lifestyle. But to go a little bit deeper into that story, we got all of her data. We told her, hey, I just want to let you know, good news, bad news. Yes, you're making, great money. That said, we're seeing, this tells me a huge story, right? And we're able to really glean a lot from this. A few things that I'm seeing here is you don't have very good sticky relationships with your clients. You're probably working more on an hourly basis, maybe a few project based contracts with clients, but it's not looking so hot because you're probably stressed on a month to month basis because you don't know when that next project invoice paycheck is going to come through. So you constantly need to be chasing. And it just doesn't feel like it's working. And it probably is to the point where you might want to go back to more of a corporate agency, corporate studio. So I told her, good news, bad news, like this is actually where we're currently at. That said, good news is that we're able to shift that and turn that around. And that's exactly what we did. It's exactly what we do with all of our clients. We were able to 3x her profit within 6 months of working together and triple her revenue within that same amount of time. These color codes, we want to just make sure that this allows you to almost come back to this place as a source of truth and just a place where you don't have to keep everything up here, but it's all in one place in a tool and you're able to come back to it. So for example, in red, this means that, you've sent out the invoice, you've sent out the invoice and you just have not received it back from the client. So it's a good reminder for you to, hey, when the next time you're chatting with that client, you can, ping them, ask them what's going on with it. In blue, it's almost the opposite of that. So you have not yet sent that invoice, and it's a reminder for you to get on it and to send that invoice out so that then, you can make that money. Yellow is when in your pipeline, when you're in more of, a serious stage, with that prospect in either the negotiation or the proposal stage, to then bring it over to your P&L tab and get a little dreamy and manifesty about what could be should that contract come in. And so we just list that out, what the revenue would look like on a monthly basis to then allow you to get that manifestation. Overall, what I really look to do is just make this as visually friendly for you, but actionable, and you're able to really leverage this tool as the foundation for everything related to your business, on maybe the more operational, strategic, and financial side. So from this, with our consulting clients, were able to leverage this as the foundation to then dig into a number of different more operational challenges that they might be dealing with. Maybe you're hiring a new content manager or a new video producer that you need to pay, and figure out how much am I able to pay that person. And so we can really look at the numbers, dig down, and understand what it is that you're making per project, what it is that you're making per client, how profitable is each contract, to then figure out what are we able to really put towards that new subcontractor. A lot of my clients are new to paying themselves, and so figuring out a way and a strategy to give yourself a little bump, little bonus, each time you get above, maybe it's 30K, so that then each time, because you're working harder, you and your team are working harder, you're then putting aside some money for the end of the year, maybe it's the end of the quarter, to then give yourself a nice little gift. Either way, I hope that really kind of gave you a better understanding as to what's involved in this cash flow and forecasting tool. We really look to make it fun, and at the core of it is really allowing you to get back to your creative genius and thrive from a creative place, because that's what you came into the world to do. So definitely happy to chat further. We've also got some, I don't want to call them dumbed down, but some more simplified cash flow tools that we sell, for purchase. And that's more of a DIY. We don't build it out for you, but we don't customize it for you, but you're able to leverage the framework that we've got at a more simplified level to then enable you to start to make really good data-backed decisions.